All right, guys. So we're just gonna move right along with our stuff that we're doing here, with all of our sort of layering different things to create some sort of complex design here. We got our isogrid.ai file open. Let's go ahead and save it to something else. Let's call it. I'm gonna call it isometric overlapping, and we'll just call it that for now. I'm gonna go ahead and just take my grid off for just a second here. Let's Control and semicolon to take it off. Oop, it's okay here. I'm just going to real quick go to my shapes, and I'm going to find my polygon. I'm going to click once and make sure it says 5 and press OK. I'll make this a little bit bigger, just a little bit here. And I'm going to get my pen tool here. I'm going to control click off and just go from the top, and it should match you right to this. Hold down shift, and you can go right to the center there. Control click off of that. Click again, and then match right there in the center. Click again. And then we'll just go across like that, and then click one more time, and right to the center. There we go, cool. And now we'll just take this off. We should have these 5 little lines hanging out here. We're gonna make a little office chair, like the chair that we're sitting in right now. I'm gonna pull the stroke up a good deal, and I'm gonna make sure that underneath, I'll make it pretty thick. I'll make sure that the stroke says butt cap there, so it doesn't extend past the lines. And what we'll go over here, we'll go to object. Actually, let's take the fill off for just a second. And we'll go to object, and we'll go to outline strokes, go to path, and go to outline strokes, and there should become these little paths here, and we'll just merge them together using Pathfinder down here. So just right there, Pathfinder, cool. Now we'll just take this. This will be like the base, little wheelie legs for our next little guy here, and we'll just go to V on the keyboard here, right? Click on it. Let's go to transform and scale, and once again we're going to do non-uniform vertical 86.602. That's the go-to scale for the SSR method. Right click on it again, transform, and go to shear. We'll shear it 30 degrees on the horizontal axis. Press OK, and then we'll right click on it again, transform, and we'll rotate it here. In this case, we'll rotate it negative 30 degrees, and it should be right there on its. So this is going to be fitting in to our little our sort of shall we say environment here. I'm going to change this to a lighter gray, slightly lighter. You can make this any color you want. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and just drag this up. Hold down Shift while I do it. I won't drag it up too far. Just gonna give yourself like an idea of like maybe it being sort of a square shape. I might make this a bit darker just so I can kind of tell it apart. Just slightly darker, not a whole lot darker there. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna fill in this by just using our pen tool, and I might make this just slightly less opaque so I can see below it, and I'll bring up the opacity later on here. So let me just click on this. Alright, so it might be hard to kind of like see what's going on here. You can kind of tell what's happening here. I was trying to see the bottom shape here. So I'm just going to control click off of this, use my pen tool, and just connect these dots, these corners here, like so. And I'm just going to, I'll fill in the colors later. I might make this just a totally different color here, maybe like a sort of a, you know, I don't know, red or something like that. And we'll just go through here, and just one by one, make these shapes here. Click, 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 click. Oops. Make sure this closes. All right. Click, click, click. Go this way. Okay, so let's grab this shape on the top again, bring the opacity back up to 100%, and right click on it, go to arrange, and bring to front. So now it's sitting there on top, and we can kind of see what we're looking at here. And from here, I'm just going to go through and just sort of determine where my light side, where my dark side is. We'll say this side over here is a little lighter than this side, so I'll make this a little bit lighter. So I'll make this into like a sort of a lighter gray, no, a little bit darker than the top. I might make this a bit lighter. Okay, and then we'll just make this slightly darker than the other side here. And then from there, it's just a matter of trying to just sort of, ease this in. So I'll just make this the same color gray as that side. I'll make this one. I'll just get the eye on the keyboard here, eye there, just to darken that up. Be here. I make this the same color as this one. Eye. I'll make this one a bit darker. I'll make this a little bit lighter. Okay, cool. Now we don't have to really worry too much about the shapeliness of these next things here. I'm going to get L on the keyboard. I'm going to get my little ellipse tool here. I'm just going to draw a little oval or circle. It doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to make sure it's at the very bottom. I'll just right click on it here with my move tool. And I'll say arrange, send to back. And I'm just going to just sort of nudge that in there in different places. I'll make it a good deal darker. I'll make it darker than everything else. Yeah, there's that. And I'll just alt drag it in different places. So it looks like we have little wheelies at the bottom of this chair. Oh no. You can kind of adjust how far out they go. Right, there we go, cool. So we have this little like wheelie little thing here. I'm just grab everything, Control and G, just so it's a group, so I can kind of mess around with that later. I'm gonna go here to L on the keyboard. I'm gonna draw my circle. I'm just gonna right click on it with the use my select tool here. All right, so let's back that up. Right click on it, transform, scale, and then it should all have everything saved. So down into new firm, press OK. Transform, shear, it should just have it there, horizontal 30 degrees, press OK. Right click on it, transform, rotate, and then 30 degrees right there, okay? And we'll just drag this over here, and we don't have to worry so much about centering it so much as we just like eyeballing it into where it kind of needs to be there. That's about right. I'm going to alt drag this up, hold down shift while you do it so it stays lined up, and M on the keyboard for your rectangle tool, and I'll just sort of pull this together. Oops. And I'll make a little post for the chair to sit on. Alright. Now we'll just select all these guys here. And Pathfinder. Cool. Alright, now we'll grab our grid here, Control and semicolon here, and we'll just kind of get a random spot to start this up here. I'll just P on the keyboard here, and I'll just make a little chair. So I'll just make my cushion a little bit thicker. And I'll tell you what, I'll start the sort of outline of the chair, and then I'll probably realign it. Back a bit thicker. Let's see here. It's blending in with everything, so let me okay, that's cool. And I'll just make this a good deal darker. All right, and I'll just move this, say for instance, right about here. And then I'll just alt drag this over to where it matches up with the other side somewhere. And then we can start filling in the rest of the shape. Let me just double check that this is all inside the grid. Here's that, and here is that right there. Good, cool. All right, put on a pen tool, and we'll just fill in the back here. Make this a bit lighter. On the keyboard, I'll just grab this color here. Pen tool again. Okay, and on the keyboard, sample this color here. And then we don't have to do all that. We can just that V on the keyboard, right click on it, arrange, send to back. Oh, nope. There we go. Let's put this in the front, Control Shift and close bracket, and we'll just sample this color here, and on the keyboard make it a little bit darker there. We can make this a good deal brighter too, make it kind of like a steel thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab these here, and I want to say I want this to be a little bit more like this. I'll just get rid of this all together. this shape right here that we used. So let me just real quick, once again, select these guys. I'm going to get this off. I'll just move this until I feel like it's right. All right, cool. That's a fun little chair. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and group that together. And Control G. I'll just move that to the side. And let's make a couple things over this way. Let's get back to our grid here, and we'll just make a little table. And we'll just so I'm just gonna real quick pin on the keyboard here. 1, go across, 2, 3. Just a little table for us to sit at and do our work. 4. I'll just okay. I'm gonna deposit here. All right, so moving on, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, will be our top of our table, just make it sort of a light brown, and I'll get real close here and just start making the rest of the table here. Just so, just make it sort of a random desk, just, maybe have this be 1 grid length thick there, make this a little bit darker, and I think this is supposed to be our dark side, so no, this is our dark side. Yeah, this is our dark side, I guess, so we'll make this 1 darker here. Obviously, you don't have to use these exact colors, but we'll just get this right here. Click, click, click. 4, 5, and we'll make this a little bit lighter. There's that, and we'll get some legs. Actually, what I'll do first is I'll just make this into its own little group. So I'm just gonna group this together, so that way it's its own little thing. And I'm just gonna grab these legs here, and I'll just pardon all the little announcements. People don't watch their carpool number there. And I'll make this about the same color as the side here, and I'll make the next little thing a little bit lighter. So, the keyboard here, just to make it a little bit different color. Some kind of flavor here, a little bit lighter. That's good. Cool. I can do that. And we can just make this be the same leg for each side of the table. So put this over here, and Control Shift open bracket. Move this over this way. Control Shift open bracket, and move this over this way. Right there, you should be able to see it. And then Control Shift bracket there. Cool. Neat. All right, so with that done, let's keep all this separate here. Let me just add one little thing. I'm just going to add a little kind of skirt, you might say, to the thing here. I'll just grab this right like that and make a little skirt that comes down like so. And I'll try to make it a different color from either one of these. Let's make it. Oops, let's link these together here. Let's make it maybe this color over here. And let's get a blend in, isn't it? Maybe we'll make it, sure, we'll make it this color right here. And we'll just, with our move tool here, just make it slightly bigger. Let's hold down Shift, just so it kind of like comes in. So it looks like it's sort of, in between the leg. And I'll just Control Shift and down. This right here, cool, neat. And we can even do the same thing to the other side. Just drag this over this way. And have it kind of hang out right there. Control Shift and down, so that we have this little sort of skirt. Looks like it's a bit too tall, so it's 2 up from here, so it should be 2 up from there as well. There we go. All right. And lastly, what we'll do is grab our chair, and we'll move our chair. Let's actually make it behind. Let's have this guy be in the very, very back. Control Shift and open bracket there. And a little bit further in. There we go. Oh, wait, it should be up a little bit. It should be 2. All right, cool. Yeah, so 2 over here. All right, good, cool, neat. And finally, let's grab our chair. I'll move our chair over this way here. Now this is where it's going to come. It's going to get a little tricky here. We want to make sure we're keeping our eyes open. I want to make this about the same size. We get my grid off. And I'm just going to shrink this down because this is already grouped. So I'll shrink this down some. And I'm going to ungroup all this chair here. So ungroup everything. So we have this piece here, and we can just sort of maybe pull this to the top, right click on it, arrange, bring to front. And let's actually back it up just a little bit, make it just about a little bit less tall. And once again, I'll just grab this and Control Shift up, And then I'll make this, oh, I'll ungroup this. Here we go. Ungroup. And then I'll grab this guy, and I'll have him go towards the bottom. Control down, actually no, yeah. I'll pull this up. Okay, make this at the top, make this at the top. And then, there we go. Now this is where we're gonna, it's a little bit tricky here. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my pen tool here. I'm just gonna create a little shape, like so. And I'm just gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this, subtract that. And so now it's on top, but it's not gonna go through this side here. And it looks like everything else is just about good. Okay, I'll have one last thing here. Let me just go down here, turn the grid back on, and I'll just add in a little piece of paper kind of hanging out like this. And then we'll turn that maybe like a light gray or even white, and we can just add in some lines here, just like so. And maybe pull the stroke up, turn the fill off, and pull the stroke up some. And we'll just move that with Alt key here. Control and D will let us copy that a couple times. All right, cool. So let's just look at that. That looks kind of fun, and we can maybe put a background behind it as well. Let's put like maybe some carpet in here, just a little background, something milquetoast and harmless, like a light blue or something, or even say this little orange color here. This is kind of fun, cheery. All right, there we go. Orange just blends in too much of the brown, so maybe I'll just choose the blue here. Or green. Like that, that's fun. Okay, cool. All right, so fun. Look at that. We got a little rolly chair with a complex kind of base here, and a little office chair, and doesn't have any arms on it. You could add some arms if you wanted to, but cool. That's we'll just export this file. Export for screens, and export it. Call it Isometric desk and chair. All right, cool. Can't wait to see you guys produce. I'll see you guys in class.